Welcome to Business is Boomin', episode 2. We got the UFC December 19th card. Stephen Thompson versus Geoff Neal is the main event. Jose Aldo, Marlon Vera, the co-main event. This is actually a pretty good card to end the year. Marlon Moraes versus Rob Font. We got a crazy, wild fight. Michelle Pajeda versus Chaos Williams. I'm excited to see this end of the year card. Jillian Robertson is a late short notice replacement. She's fighting Tala Santos, and she's had a heck of a year. You know, Robertson's had some good wins this year. So starting out with Thompson versus Neal. I believe this is a 5-round fight, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But in my opinion, I think Thompson's being underestimated in this fight. I think Geoff Neal is definitely like a dark horse type of guy in the division. A guy that's had really great finishes. He's really technically sound, and he doesn't really go off of the game plan much. He stays very fundamental. He's got a beautiful left hand, a left high kick, good footwork, but not a lot of movement. And I just feel like a guy like Stephen Thompson, with the amount of movement that he has, that karate style is awkward. He's just such a tough style to deal with. You know, I don't think Geoff Neal is going to kind of see what he's seen in the past when he faces this guy. When he gets in the cage with Thompson, he's going to be like, this is different. You know, this is a different kind of style. Thompson's accurate, fast, precise. He's confident in the way that he strikes and his style. He's very elusive. He's hard to hit as well. He's got a good frame for the weight class. I would give the power advantage to Geoff Neal, but I just don't think he's going to clip Thompson in a way where he's going to put him out. I think Thompson's going to kind of outpoint him the whole way. You know, just a little bit more volume, a little bit more accuracy. And that southpaw style, that karate style is going to be a problem for Geoff Neal. I mean, Geoff Neal's been out for a little while too, right? He had that health scare. So that's another thing that, you know, to take into consideration. Thompson did have that bad knockout to Pettis, but I think he's in the right mindset after taking a loss like that. I don't think he's kind of letting it get to him or letting it affect his performances after the fact. But you know, I've had the honor to watch Stephen Thompson cage side, front row, and just the technique and the amount of skill that he has in the striking realm and things was like unbelievable to me. It was like, I honestly felt like an amateur after I watched him fight. I was like, I don't belong here. Like, my striking is amateur. This is a whole different story. That's like what I was thinking when I was watching him. I was like, this is unbelievable. And I don't think that with every fighter, but with him, just his precision and the way he executes is amazing. You know, his kicks are beautiful. He throws that check hook, that check mark kick that you don't see. He throws those jabbing kicks to the knees, to the body. I don't know. I mean, I gotta go with with Stephen Thompson here, man. He's had more experience in main event fights. I don't know. I see him being able to pick Neal apart, and I just don't see Neal landing that big shot, that head kick, or that left hand to put Thompson down. I'm going to go with Stephen Thompson. I think he's going to get a decision. Now, if it's a 5-round fight, if it's a 3-round fight, I think Thompson wins by decision. If it's a 5-round fight, I think he might even get the finish, to be honest. Jose Aldo versus Marlon Vera. This is a huge opportunity for Marlon Vera. I mean, he's coming off that huge win to Sugar Sean O'Malley that kind of really built his stock, you know. And I'll be honest, even in that fight, you know, it wasn't like Marlon Vera looked like the better fighter the whole time. You know, I think O'Malley was kind of landing some shots. He looked like the faster fighter. He looked like he had a little bit better movement to him. Vera was trying to stalk him down. Definitely landed his solid elbows. That leg kick was really nice. He was able to take some leg kicks of his own. I just think the style that Marlon Vera has, you know, he's very technical. He's just not the fastest guy or the most powerful guy. He does have great jiu-jitsu, but a guy like Jose Aldo, who's had his downfalls at bantamweight, but has looked really good, honestly, at bantamweight too. You know, it's not like he came down to bantamweight and looked like a shell of himself. Yes, he fades towards the later rounds, but this is a 3-round fight, and I feel like Aldo has a big frame for bantamweight. He's very fast. He's going to have the speed advantage. He's going to have the power advantage, in my opinion, in this fight. And his fast twitch muscles, you know, Vera's not a wrestling heavy guy. He does have good submissions, but he's not a wrestler. So to take Aldo down is going to be a real tough task. So I don't see the fight hitting the ground. And to be able to overwhelm Aldo, like, you have to have a really high output. You know, Peter Yan has that. Marlon Moraes doesn't really have that high output. He has that power. He has that fast twitch. But Aldo, I thought, won that fight. So, like, at bantamweight, Aldo looks pretty good, man. He still has really good boxing. His head movement looks really good, and I just think that he's just a little bit more seasoned with experience, and his speed is going to be a problem in this fight. Honestly, I feel like he's going to be able to outbox Marlon, and I think he's gonna get maybe a second round stoppage by like a TKO. And imagine that, right? Like, what do you do with Aldo after that? If he beats a guy like Vera, who's a rising up and coming guy that's got a huge winning streak right now, young guy. Jose Aldo kind of on the tail end of his career. If he could beat a guy like Vera, like that kind of stamps like his, I'm here to stay. Like, I got more left in me at bantamweight. Like, don't count me out. I got Jose Aldo, man. It might go to decision, but I think he's going to outbox him and get the win. Michel Pereira, Chaos Williams. I just cannot go against Chaos Williams, especially after that brutal knockout he had last fight against Al Hassan, who I thought was going to actually win by knockout. Chaos Williams with that beautiful right hand. Michel Pereira's calmed things down a little bit. He was a wild man to start. Seems like he's kind of tamed himself just a little bit, which I think is going to do leaps and bounds for him. His takedowns mixed in with his striking, his unorthodox style is a problem to deal with. I just think Chaos Williams has that calculated, precise power that if he lands, like, you're gonna be hurt, and he kind of takes his time with it. He doesn't rush it, even though he won his fight really fast last fight. That right hand was just technical, beautiful accuracy, and man, I could see him doing it again in this fight. I think Michel Pereira is gonna want to mix it up. Probably get a hold of Chaos Williams early, make him grapple a little bit, slow him down a little bit, slow the pace of the fight. Well, not slow the pace of the fight, but slow down the striking exchanges, and maybe kind of make him defend, take him down, maybe get top position, land some ground and pound, something like that. But if this fight gets wild and, Michel Pereira kind of falls off the game plan and just strikes, I think Chaos Williams is going to land that big shot again. I'm going to go with Chaos Williams by knockout, first or second round. Marlon Moraes versus Rob Font. This is a really exciting fight at bantamweight. Marlon Moraes has showed has a lot of questions surrounding him now at bantamweight, right? I mean, we've seen him fade a couple of times now in fights against Henry Cejudo and then against Corey Sandhagen. Kind of exposed a little bit. He's one of the scariest fighters to fight in the first round, but then you see that he becomes a lot less of himself after that midpoint in the second round. He starts to slow down, his power starts to dwindle, and he starts to have trouble with the cardio. I don't know what he's done to correct that. I do know Rob Font's been out for a while, and that could be a factor in this fight as well. But I think Rob Font has the right mindset. He's like a diligent worker. He seems to be confident, and he's also a very smart, calculated fighter. I feel like he knows how to use his energy expenditure. He doesn't over pull the trigger. He doesn't overstep his boundaries with strikes or takedowns or anything like that. He kind of hits things at the right times. If he sees that takedown, he'll land it. He'll make you kind of work a little bit, but he's not really trying to like wrestle you. He just kind of gets the takedown and makes you work back up, and then he's back to striking. Very technical striker, good boxing. Marlon Moraes is going to have the kicking advantage against just about anybody. Power advantage as well, I feel. If the fight goes to decision and it goes the distance, I have to go Rob Font by decision. But if anybody finishes the fight, I really feel like Marlon Moraes just has the better striking, the faster striking, more powerful. If he's corrected his cardio issues and he has a good sense of when to pull the trigger in this fight, I'm going to go with Marlon Moraes. I feel like people might be underestimating him now based off last two performances, but that's Henry Cejudo and Corey Sandhagen. You know what I mean? Like, this is a step up for Rob Font, especially off such a long layoff. This is going to be a difficult task, and I feel like if Marlon comes correct, like, he's going to get the job done. I think I could see a TKO from Marlon Moraes, or maybe even landing that head kick, to be honest. We might see Rob Font try to grapple a little bit. It might not be a bad idea to try to tire out Marlon Moraes a little bit, but I think early in the first round, Moraes is difficult to deal with his fast twitch muscle. He's fast. He's able to avoid that takedown, and he's able to land that switch kick over and over. So yeah, as much as Marlon's had trouble as of late, I'm gonna go with Moraes. Jillian Robertson, Tyler Santos, make some quick picks. Jillian Robertson submission. That's what I'm looking at here. She's just got the way better jiu-jitsu, in my opinion. I know Santos has power. She's, going to be hard to deal with for sure, but Robertson has a lot of activity this year, and she just knows what she wants. She goes in there, she grinds you, takes you down, mounts you, and just keeps you down and out-positions you until she finds that submission. Tabora versus Greg Hardy. I think this is Greg Hardy's toughest test to date. Tabora's a seasoned veteran. He's a very good striker, good movement. He's aggressive. I don't think he's going to kind of wait and let Hardy off the brakes. I think he's going to kind of be in his face and throwing strikes and making him work. I just think Hardy's going to land that power shot. He's improved his cardio each fight out. That's a big sign, because if he was going to lose, you would think it'd be by getting overwhelmed with cardio, with some volume. But at heavyweight, it's all about the power for the most part. And with Hardy improving every fight out, I just feel like it's just another little level of a step up here with Tabora. I think Hardy will get the TKO stoppage there. Prelims, quick picks. Pettis versus Morano. I'm going with Anthony Pettis. Can't count him out. This is a big step up for Morano. Morano has definitely got very well-rounded skills, and he got great coaching. But I just think too much too soon. Pettis is looking like he's training like a savage, and I think he's going to have a little chip on his shoulder, like, okay, you want to put me in against this guy now after all the guys I've fought, all the big names I've fought? You want to try to make a name off me with this guy? I'm going to show you what's up. Could be the end of the road for Pettis. If he loses this fight, they might cut him. He's a highly paid guy, and they're starting to cut guys off the roster. But I think Pettis gets it done. TKO. Eubanks versus Cyanzad. I'm going to go with Eubanks by decision. Very active this year as well. Carl Robertson, Dalcha Lingabula. I'm going to go with Lungiambula by TKO stoppage. Although Robertson, he missed weight his last fight, I believe. He lost to Vettori, who's looking like a savage right now. But I just think something looked off with him there. I don't know if he's figured shit out. So I'm going with Dalcha. Deron Win, Antonio Arroyo. I'm going to go with Win by just grinding the wrestling decision. Ayman Zahabi, Draco Rodriguez. I'm going to go with Draco Rodriguez by TKO. Nukwi versus Jamie Pickett. Don't know much about these guys, but I'll go with experience here. Jamie Pickett by decision. Jimmy Flick versus Cody Durden. I'm going to go with Cody Durden by decision or TKO. Rick Glenn versus Carlton Minus. I'm going to go with Rick Glenn by decision. That's the Boom Picks. That's UFC December 19th, 4 p.m. Yeah, if you guys, give a thumbs up to the video, I appreciate it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, BrianBoom135. I'm fighting January 16th. Nothing's been officially announced yet, but it's looking like Fight Island. But I'm feeling good. Had a good swim workout this morning. Getting the weight down, getting ready to go to war here against Ricky Simon. So tune into that as well. Thanks, guys. Boom, baby.